Before we get into today's video, I have a new channel member here on YouTube that I would like to say thank you to real quick, and it is Taylor McNamara with a Tier 1 membership. Taylor, glad you enjoy the videos. Really appreciate that channel membership, and thank you to the rest of the names on this board. Your support does not go unnoticed here on the channel. Really do appreciate it. Now let's jump into today's video. Welcome back. So some really sad news over the last couple of days. I'm sure you've all seen it already, but unfortunately, the world lost Bobby Allen here recently on October 5th, so Sunday night. He has passed away, a pioneer of sprint car racing, an original outlaw, and has done so much for the sport and has done a lot in the sport, not only as a driver, but as a car owner as well. And he will certainly be sorely missed. It's going to be very weird not seeing Bobby Allen at the racetrack anymore. I did 3.5 years on the Outlaw Tour, and I don't think I saw him miss a single race that entire time I was there. And then when Jacob came and ran Highland last year, I don't remember seeing Bobby miss a race there either. I mean, this guy has been doing it for a very, very long time. And, you know, when you get guys like him that are old, and they've been around doing it for a long time. I mean, 1978, he was there for the first ever World of Outlaws season. Guys that have done that, have been there since 1978, you don't see them have the dedication to the sport for this amount of time, all the way up until 2025. 81 years old. He was still at the racetrack every single weekend. A lot of those guys from back in the day, you'll kind of see them fade out a little bit. Don't really hear about them too much. That was not the case with Bobby Allen. He has been doing it for about as long as anybody, right? I mean, 81 years old. And so from December 28th to 1943 to October 5th of 2025, we got to watch Bobby Allen race. We got to see him be a car owner. I didn't watch him race much. Obviously, I'm 30 years old, so I think his last year of racing was 1998 or 99, so I was like 4 or 5 years old. But definitely a legendary career, a Hall of Fame career. He was inducted into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame in 1998. Over 275 career wins in a 410 sprint car. And as I mentioned, unfortunately, he has left the earth at 81 years old. So over here, I have the driving career of Bobby Allen, and over here, I have the owner side of things for Bobby Allen and Shark Racing. I mean, he's the reason Shark Racing is a thing around right now. He is the one that created Shark Racing back in, I want to say, 2008 was when it was created, and they've been on the Outlaw Tour for 12 years now. 2014 was their first season, and they have not missed one. When everybody thought that they would not be able to make it happen, Bobby Allen was able to do a lot with a little and make it happen. So let's get into the driving career of Bobby Allen over here, and then we'll get over to the owner's side of things as well. 834 career World of Outlaws races. He was a part of the very first season of Outlaw action in 1978, so an original Outlaw. He finished third in points that year to, I want to say it was Rick Ferkel, and was it Steve Kinzer the first year? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but Rick Ferkel was one of them, and I believe it was Steve Kinzer that won the championship that year. And he ran with the Outlaws up until 1998. So he wasn't full-time that entire time, but he was full-time for about 10 or so years, and his last Outlaw show was in 1998. He did get 30 wins in his career. That is good for 24th on the all-time wins list with the Outlaws. 232 career top 5 finishes. 27% of his finishes were in the top 5. 430 top 10s. Good enough for 51% of his finishes were inside the top 10. He was, of course, the 1990 Knoxville Nationals champion, the biggest race in sprint car racing. Bobby Allen able to get the win, passing Sammy Swindell with 2 laps to go and getting the job done there. An incredible race. And it was weird watching that video. I've seen it before, but rewatching it over the last couple of days, it's just crazy to see how much different everything looked at Knoxville back then compared to what it is now. But Bobby Allen forever will be known as a Knoxville Nationals champion. He was also the 1975 Williams Grove National Open champion, and in 1988, he ran second at the Kings Royal. So he was one position away from being a Triple Crown champion. Not many guys in the history of the sport can say that they have won all 3 of sprint car racing's biggest races. Bobby Allen, very, very close to making that happen. Second at the Kings Royal, and of course, the Knoxville and National Open victories to his credit. Also a 2-time Tuscarora 50 winner at the Port Royal Speedway. As I mentioned earlier, he was third in the 1978 World of Outlaws points. That was the best he ran in a championship, but that's a big deal to be, in that first class of full-time drivers with with the Outlaws, a very big deal there. Also, he was the 1980 All-Star Circuit of Champions titleist. He is a 46-time All-Star Circuit of Champions winner. He won the 1986 Ohio Sprint Speedway Championship as well, a 75-time winner at Lincoln Speedway, and a 36-time winner at the Williams Grove Speedway in Pennsylvania. And there are many, many, many more accolades that I could add to this board, but obviously it's not long enough. I think he's a 2-time Brad Doty Classic winner as well. Went down to Australia, ran well down there as well. And so Bobby Allen, an extremely accomplished race car driver. And, one thing that I've liked over the last couple of years and that they've been doing, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years ago, Jacob Allen showed up to Knoxville running the old Bobby Allen paint scheme. And ever since then, they've had that number font there on the car, whether it's Jacob running it, whether it's, Chase Dietz ran it, Landon Myers ran it, now Ashton Torgerson driving the car. I hope that they keep that as a tradition, especially now that Bobby is gone. I think it would be awesome to have that 1A stay on the car, that same number font for the rest of that car's time being in the sport. Now, speaking of being in the sport, even after he was done with his driving career, he had a huge impact on the racing scene, having 2 full-time cars on the Outlaw Tour, which I have mentioned on this channel is very, very hard to do. To have 2 cars running on a sprint car tour for 90 races a year is something that is very difficult. We've seen a couple of guys try to make it happen over the last couple of years. But obviously, there's been some success stories, but there's been a lot of them that only make it for a year, make it 2 years, and they have to call it quits. But they have been doing it like this for basically ever since Shark Racing was put together. It's been a 2-car operation. And there for a while, they were doing it with 1 trailer. I mean, they were making it happen. But 12, now they're in their 12th season of being on the Outlaw Tour. Of course, it's just Schuchart being the guy that is on the tour now. Approximately 1,406 Outlaw starts as a car owner for Bobby Allen. Maybe a little bit more because Landon Myers ran a few races and Chase Dietz ran a few races and Ashton Torgerson's ran a few races. So maybe about 1,450 starts, but I just put approximately because I don't have the exact number. 49-time World of Outlaws car owner winner for Bobby Allen. He was second, that car was second in 2020 series point standings with the Outlaws. Also a 1-time Highland Racing winner with Jacob Allen behind the wheel and a 2-time All-Star Circuit of Champions winner as a car owner. And then some of the race wins are some big ones. 2018, Schuchart won the Ironman 55. 2020 and in 2021, he won the Jackson Nationals. 2021, he was the Dirt Car Nationals champion. The 4 nights at Volusia Speedway Park, they won the championship there. A 2-time Gold Cup Race of Champions winner for Schuchart. 1 for Schuchart, 1 for Jacob Allen. And that was a big deal because you think about PA, there's not many racetracks in Pennsylvania where Allen and Schuchart come from that are anything like Silver Dollar Speedway. And so for those guys to get wins at Gold Cup, at Silver Dollar Speedway, that was a monumental win. 2022, Schuchart won the Capitani Classic. 2023, of course, the biggest win in all of sprint car racing as far as the winner's share goes, the Eldora Million at Eldora Speedway. And Schuchart dominated that race. A huge, that was one of the biggest storylines of all time to see where this team came from. Running out of 1 trailer with 2 cars and just barely having enough to make it up and down the road. And then that happened, obviously, 2014 was their first year. And 9 years later, they were able to win the highest paying race in the history of sprint car racing, $1,002,023, which was enormous for that team. 2021, the Texas Outlaw Nationals, they won that one. Might not sound like a big deal to I think maybe it was like 20,000 to win, but that was a big deal to Bobby Allen because, back in the day, Devil's Bowl Speedway, that was one of the mainstays on the Outlaw schedule in the early days and even up until like 2020. I mean, 2022 maybe before it closed down. Devil's Bowl Speedway, that was the birthplace of the Outlaws. And for Bobby Allen and Shark Racing to get a win, the Texas Outlaw Nationals, I think that was a win that was very, very meaningful to him. A 2-time Knoxville Nationals prelim night winner. Remember, 2023 or 2022? I think it was 22. Jacob Allen and Logan Schuchart both won their prelim nights at the Knoxville Nationals. And then Jacob Allen won the 2022 Jason Johnson Classic as well. So just a couple of the wins on the car owner side of things, a couple of wins from the driver side of things. It is hard to deny that Bobby Allen has left a lasting impression on the sport, and you've probably seen it on social media for the last couple of days. all the stories, people, talking about Bobby, all the different pictures, all the different videos. The Outlaws put out a nice tribute video to him as well, and rightfully so. I mean, this is a guy that's put his heart and soul into this racing for, since 78 to whatever. I mean, I don't know math very well, but that's like 40 years at least of him being involved in the sport in some way, shape, or form. And for him to have a two-car operation in the sprint car ecosystem, I mean, this guy loved the racing more than anything. And it showed him being at the racetrack every single weekend as an 80-year-old guy, still showing up every single weekend was absolutely incredible. And so we are definitely going to miss Bobby Allen. I'm thinking about Jacob Allen. I'm thinking about Logan Schuchart, Dana, Bill Klingbeil, Summer, Hannah, all you guys. I don't know if you're watching this video or not, but I am thinking about you guys right now. And I'm hoping that this weekend, in some way, shape, or form, Schuchart or Torgerson, I don't know where he's racing at this weekend, but if one of those guys can go to victory lane, that would be absolutely incredible. And I hope that it happens. And I hope that they have, a safe and a successful rest of the season on the Outlaw Tour for Schuchart. And then we'll see what next year holds for both those cars, the 1A and the 1S. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below about Bobby Allen. Obviously, a very sad week in the world of sprint car racing, but it has been really nice to see all the great stories, all the great pictures, all the great videos of him on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And so, yeah, I felt like I needed to put out a video here on the channel and just kind of document what he was able to accomplish in his career, both as a driver and as an owner. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit like, hit subscribe. We'll be back here tomorrow on the Rodman Rundown to talk about Chase Dietz and his first ever Outlaw win from Friday night at Williams Grove Speedway. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll talk to you again soon.